PK Kemsley shares an update on his older son Daniel. Paul PK Kemsley is one devoted father of 5. The talent manager has 3 adult children from his first marriage, including son Daniel Kemsley, in addition to the 2 young children that he shares with his estranged wife, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills cast member Dorit Kemsley. PA gave a look at his relationship with Daniel earlier this month, when he took to Instagram to reveal that he and his eldest son were celebrating. PK and Daniel's favorite soccer team, or football club to the native UK residents, Tottenham Hotspur, or Spurs, made it to the Europa League finals and won against Manchester United. PK took to his Instagram story where he posted a photo of himself and Daniel standing side by side in their booth at a pub, smiling widely in excitement at the camera. Seriously, Daniel could not look any happier about the victory. "First took my son to Spurs at the age of 4, PK captioned the photo. "He's waited a long time for today. Europa League champions 2025. He also posted a video to his Instagram feed of his celebration at the pub with Daniel. In the video, PK's son can be seen jumping and chanting along with Spurs fans, who seemed so excited to be celebrating the win. "We are Tottenham, we are champions," he wrote in the caption of the post. Who are PK Kemsley's kids from his first marriage? PK has 3 children from his first marriage to his ex-wife, Loretta Gold. He has 2 adult daughters, Tatum and Atlanta Kemsley, in addition to Daniel. Although the 3 of them tend to live a very private life, PK has shared photos of his children in the past. PK took to his Instagram feed in March 2018, where he posted a photo of himself at dinner with the 3 kids, who look so much like Felix Kemsley and Jagger Kemsley, who he shares with Dorit. "My first 3, he wrote in the caption of the post, along with a red heart emoji. He also took to Instagram in October 2021, where he posted a photo of him standing next to Daniel and Jagger, with all 3 of them dressed up to go out to an event. "My boys," he wrote in the caption of the post with a red heart emoji. PK Kemsley shares updates on his life after Dorit Kemsley files for divorce. Since Dorit filed for divorce in late April, PK has been focusing on all of his children. PK's Instagram account has been filled with videos of Phoenix dancing her heart out and Jagger performing as well. He's also been focusing on himself. He took to Instagram on May 2, where he reflected on his personal growth. 57 years in, still becoming, he wrote in the caption. The familiar hum of North London's pubs echoed in the air like a well-worn song, a soundtrack to memories both old and new. Inside one such pub, filled to the brim with Tottenham Hotspur fans clad in white and navy, Paul PK Kemsley stood with a glass of Guinness in hand, his face lit up by the neon of flat-screen TVs flashing post-match highlights. Beside him, his son Daniel, now a tall, confident man with his father's sharp jawline, and that same mischievous grin, was caught in a moment of elation. Europa League champions 2025. PK repeated to himself in awe, as if saying it would make the dream more real. He glanced at Daniel, who was yelling the Spurs chant with tears in his eyes, and suddenly PK was transported back to a time when his son was just 4 years old, barely tall enough to see over the stadium railing, clutching his hand tightly as the crowd roared around them. The first game. The first shared magic. That's when their bond truly began. PK snapped back to the present and raised his phone. He wanted to freeze this moment. Father and son, side by side, hearts beating in sync with the rhythm of victory. First took my son to Spurs at the age of 4, he typed. He's waited a long time for today. Europa League champions 2025. The photo hit Instagram stories within minutes, but the feeling lingered far longer than any social media post could. Foundations in Family PK wasn't just celebrating a football victory. He was celebrating resilience. It had been a challenging year, punctuated by headlines, heartbreak, and change. In April, Dorit Kemsley, his wife of nearly a decade and a fixture on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, filed for divorce. The announcement shocked fans and even shook up the Bravo sphere. But behind the scenes, PK had already begun the quiet work of transformation. He had 3 adult children from his first marriage to Loretta Gold: Daniel, the eldest, and his daughters, Tatum and Atlanta. The 3 had long preferred privacy, their lives unfolding quietly away from the spotlight of Beverly Hills. Still, PK never shied away from expressing his love for them. Back in 2018, he posted a photo of himself with all 3, beaming at a dinner table. The caption had been simple: "My first 3. That caption, in its quiet reverence, said everything. Then there were his younger kids, Jagger and Phoenix, who he shared with Dorrit. Those 2 were bright, creative, and full of life. Jagger had recently taken a liking to theater and was performing in his school's end-of-year play, while Phoenix loved to dance, often choreographing routines to her favorite pop songs in their living room. Despite the unraveling of his marriage, PK remained the steady anchor in all 5 of his children's lives. His Instagram, a digital journal of sorts, became less about Bravo celebrity life and more about everyday moments. Phoenix spinning in a glittery tutu, Jagger belting out lines in a mock British accent, Daniel clinking pint glasses with him at the pub. Spurs, Suns, and sacred Saturdays. For PK and Daniel, Tottenham Hotspur had always been sacred ground. "The pitch is where we always found each other again," PK often said. There were years when Daniel had pulled away: university, travels, the awkward distance between a father wrapped up in Hollywood life and a son trying to find his own identity. But Tottenham was the glue. They never missed a match when they were both in London. And when they weren't, FaceTime filled in the gaps. The Europa League final had been a turning point, not just for the team, but for them. After Spurs defeated Manchester United in a gritty, glorious 3-2 comeback, the pub had exploded. Daniel had jumped up on a table, leading chants, drenched in beer and joy. PK had never seen him look so alive. He'd filmed it all: the laughter, the shouting, the hugging, and posted a clip to his Instagram feed with the caption, "We are Toti and AKM, we are champions." The video went viral among Spurs fans, but more importantly, it told a story of legacy, of one father's influence passed on through jerseys, ticket stubs, and halftime hot dogs. Rebuilding after reality TV, Dorrit's decision to file for divorce was, for PK, less of a blindside and more of a final note in a long, complicated duet. Their marriage had always existed in a fishbowl, judged, dissected, and memed by Bravo fans. But the real pain, PK admitted privately, wasn't in the loss of the marriage itself. It was in the disruption of daily life with Jagger and Phoenix. "I miss waking up to the sound of them arguing over cereal," he confided to a close friend. "You don't realize how much the chaos means until it's not there." Still, he focused forward. On May 2, days after the divorce news broke, he posted a simple message to Instagram: 57 years in, still becoming. It wasn't meant to be profound, just honest. Growth, he'd realized, wasn't a sprint. It was a slow, sometimes painful unfurling. He dove into co-parenting with fervor. Dance recitals, school plays, karate classes. If it involved Phoenix or Jagger, PK was there. No cameras, no press, just a dad doing the work. The Kemsley kids, then and now. His daughters, Tatum and Atlanta, remained his hidden gems. Both women were in their 20s now, Tatum working in fashion and Atlanta in nonprofit development. They lived in different cities, but always responded to the group family text with GIS and inside jokes. "Dad, you still use punctuation in texts. That's aggressive," Atlanta had once joked. "You say love, Dad, like we're pen pals," Tatum added. PK had laughed and kept doing it anyway. While neither of them sought fame, they'd supported their younger siblings from afar. Phoenix adored Tatum, often copying her outfits and trying to FaceTime her for styling advice. Jagger, meanwhile, once declared he wanted to be a cool social helper like Auntie Atlanta. And Daniel, well, Daniel was blooming. The quiet, watchful boy had turned into a man with both edge and empathy. He'd recently started working in a creative tech firm in London, balancing the analytical with the artistic. And every week, like clockwork, he texted his dad a link to a new indie band or quirky podcast. "Keeping you young, old man," he teased. A different kind of spotlight. Peaky knew the public would always associate him with reality TV, the boisterous Englishman with the flash cars and flashy life. But the version of PK behind closed doors was quieter, funnier, more reflective. He'd started journaling again, something he hadn't done since his 20s. Not for show, for clarity. "I write so I can hear myself think," he explained in a rare podcast interview. He began exploring new business ideas that weren't centered around celebrity. He advised startups, helped Daniel connect with entrepreneurs, and occasionally took consulting gigs. But the rush he once felt from glitzy deals was replaced now by something far simpler. Saturday mornings with Phoenix, making pancakes in her glittery apron. Sunday walks with Jagger through Beverly Hills, collecting leaves and pretending they were treasure. Every photo he posted had a purpose, not to flaunt, but to honor, a moment, a milestone, a memory.